Hey, hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this Azure Devops tutorial series, today let's discuss about how to migrate a classic pipeline to a YAML pipeline. Alright, so migrating from classic pipeline to YAML pipeline in Azure Devops is a strongly recommended approach by Microsoft and widely adopted in DevOps practices for many reasons. Alright, one of the key reasons is the YAML actually supports many version control because it is a code based, right? So enable versioning and code reviews and collaboration like tracking changes and rollback and doing rollback whenever needed is actually supported with YAML. But whereas since classic pipeline is a GUI based, it is very hard to version control or review via pull requests and all. So that is why a lot of people actually moved from classic pipelines to YAML. Okay, but in case if you are still using classic pipelines in your project, it is highly recommended to migrate from classic to YAML. Alright, so let's see key reasons why we should actually migrate from YAML from classic pipeline to YAML. Okay, as I said earlier, YAML provides better versioning, code reviews and other collaboration activities like tracking changes and rollback whenever needed. Alright, so that's why YAML is very much recommended. And as we already know that reusability and modularity with YAML is very highly feasible because it supports templates, parameters, reusable steps and all. Okay, that's why YAML is much more recommended than classic pipelines. It is better for CI/CD automation. All right, and for deployment purposes and all also. YAML is very highly recommended because it allows you to set environments and have approvals and gates directly in the code. Okay, so for deployment also YAML is highly recommended, and due to its highly scalable and advanced features, again YAML is very much recommended. So it is ideal for microservices, containerized apps, multi-platform targets and all. All right, and for auditing and compliance purposes also YAML is very highly recommended. And yeah, these are very high key pointers why you should actually move from classic pipelines to YAML pipeline. All right, we do not have an exclusive option to actually migrate a classic pipeline to YAML. Neither we don't have bulk migrate option. For example, you have 20 to 30 pipelines in your project where you want to migrate it to YAML. You don't have a bulk migrate option. Rather, you can go with a semi-automated approach. If your pipelines count is very huge, you can go for a semi-automated approach, but it again depends on the nature of your pipeline. Okay, if the pipeline uses similar builds or similar deploy patterns, you can convert shared parts into a YAML templates and then parameterize it. Okay, this might reduce duplication and speeds up the migration, but again for this it is actually the drawback is you need to create a new template for it, and you need to have a deep and wider knowledge about the existing pipelines. Only then you can actually create a template, right? So this is a secondary approach that I would recommend based on the number of pipelines and the level of knowledge you have on the classic pipeline. But in case if your pipeline count is very less and you have no other option, then we have a very straightforward approach. All right, so we can go to pipelines. Let me pick a sample classic pipeline. So this is a classic pipeline. Let me try to edit and verify if it is actually a classic pipeline or not. Yeah, here it is. This is a GUI based classic pipeline. So if I have to migrate this from YAML to migrate from classic to YAML, all I need to do is go to the classic pipeline, click on this 3 dots which is Eclipse, and export to YAML. So once I export this to YAML, you can see there is a YAML file that came here. You can either open it in a simple editor like Notepad++, or you can use any an IDE of your choice, like you can use Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code to edit your YAML files. Okay, so you can either migrate it directly using this YAML, or on top of it, if you wish to do any changes also, you can do that. Okay, if you want to add parameters or variable groups, something like that, if you want to add variable groups or tasks and many more, you can also make those changes in the YAML and import it in your new YAML pipeline. So now I have downloaded the classic pipeline into YAML. All I need to do is just create a new YAML pipeline, create a new starter YAML pipeline. So I will just go with a starter pipeline. I will remove the existing contents. All I need to do is just copy this, save it and run it. As simple as that. Okay, so this way you can actually easily migrate a classic pipeline into a YAML pipeline. Okay, so this is a very straightforward and very simple approach we have it in Azure DevOps. As I said earlier, if you have very less number of pipelines, going one by one is the recommended one. But in case if you have very huge number of pipelines, you can go for a semi-automated approach where you can create a template and perform the other activities. Okay, so that's all what I want to cover as part of this migration video, guys. In case if you have any queries, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you.